Welcome to another episode of Podcast.
Woo!
Yvette, are you 大丈夫?
大丈夫じゃない。ちょっと疲れます。
Wow, are you?
疲れます？はい。
疲れました。
疲れた。
Yeah, you must be past tense.
はい。
Yeah.
疲れた。
Anyway, this episode is how do I put this? I want to say ad hoc. What's that word? But basically, we are preparing this in advance because we are going to UK.
Oh, we're preparing this in advance?
Yeah, this is supposed to come out mid-October. As if you have already noticed, that podcast come out middle of every month so far. So that's how I roughly timed it. Trying to keep it more consistent. So
it's pre-recorded. That's what you were looking for. That's the word.
Actually, to be honest, everything is pre-recorded.
That's true.
It's just that I will need to edit this quickly because we are in the middle of September right now. And to come out in mid-October, we'll be in UK for the first 2 weeks. So I hope to get this out by then. Anyway, I digress. But here we are with another episode about Reddit. Yeah, about Reddit.
Oh, before we go.
Search Reddit stories again because topics are hard to think about. And as you can tell, Kenneth loves to give advice.
Speaking of that, before we go into it, I just had lunch with my friends, right?
Yeah.
And then Yu-Xing, shout out to Yu-Xing, who was telling us this story about this girl that she cannot break through to. Like, she cannot hold a conversation with this girl. Then we're all like, huh? Yu-Xing cannot hold a conversation with someone? Or as a super extrovert? Then we're like, impossible. And then everyone, including Kai Ying, you met Kai Ying, you met Yu-Xing, and then they were all like, I think Kenneth can. They were like, Kenneth is a yapper.
What the fuck? Where did that come from? You came up with this story just to call me a yapper?
No, because you said you like to give advice, you like to talk. It's the same thing.
No, no, just to understand, that girl is what do you call that?
That girl,
she's very quiet, is it? Or cannot hold conversation?
She got described as she shuts conversations down. Like, she'll say something and then the conversation cannot follow on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Then they were like, you know what? Kenneth can do it. Kenneth can. Because I was like, wow, I need to tell him that my friends have such confidence in your capabilities to yap.
I mean, I'm just trying to imagine in a scenario like this, what would I do? It depends on how well I know this person. I think that if I'm just at the surface level, I wouldn't force myself to have this conversation. But if it's in a position where
let's say you are only
colleagues.
four, you're 4 people, you're on a double date.
Oh, date scenario, not like colleague, whatever.
Yeah, you're hanging out with your partner. Let's say my friends, my good friend's partner.
Okay,
Yeah.
so double date lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, only 4 of y'all, bo bian, have to talk for the dinner.
But then you also will be able to observe how she's talking to the partner, what?
Yeah.
So that's a different story, right? But your story, your friends, Yu-Xing's friend or this person is a colleague, is it?
Yeah, friend.
I would say that if it's a partner, it's very differently. Because
It's not Yu-Xing's friend now, obviously.
People are more, what do you call that?
It's like the
Open
friend's
up.
partner.
But if you are, let's say, colleague, and why must I say colleague twice?
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's just a colleague.
friend.
If it's just a colleague and then you're put in a position where someone new just joined and they're very, very quiet. I wouldn't force conversations. I mean, we have a very quiet friend.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking
But
that.
to be fair, that one, we know her for quite long now, and it took her quite a while to really open up to us.
But the point is, you can sustain conversations.
No, I cannot.
You cannot?
If the person don't want to talk, how you sustain conversation?
No, it's not that person don't want to talk. The person will just say one thing and then you're like, I have no idea how to continue.
So that's why I say, so I say it depends. If I know the person quite well, then I'll be like, hey, continue lah. You can make it.
No, you don't know the person that well.
If you know the person, then I just okay, the person not interested in conversation, then I won't continue also. What? I mean, I'm a mirror, right? Also sometimes if the situation don't allows me for it, I wouldn't force myself through it.
Yeah. But I feel like you can turn things into a joke and then that helps to smoothen the awkwardness over. So it's that's what they are relying on. I think Kenneth can Turn it into a joke. Smooth things over, just say something stupid, then everybody laugh, and then move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will like call her out lah. Like, hey, more than one word lah, you know, that kind.
No, it's not one word. Like, she can say like sentences. It's just that
Right.
nobody knows how to respond to what she's saying.
Then ask more questions lah.
Yeah, lor.
That's the best way to do it, but if you're
Something you
genuinely
can-
curious about something.
So I think that's something you can do.
Okay, we just spent like a good 5 minutes talking about this.
Talking about Kenneth being a yapper.
Jesus Christ. But yes, we have stories. Actually, I've been saving a few. To be honest, when I was scouring through like Singapore Reddit, Singapore Reddit is a cesspool. I fucking hate it. The story qualities are not great.
I only have one saved.
Okay lah, there are a few gems, but I mean like I don't know, like a lot of the conversation just deteriorate to blaming the government
Foreigners.
to a certain extent,
And foreigners.
which I'm like, oh my god, like I'm sure we have better stories, but maybe people with good stories are not hanging out in the Singapore Reddits. So but I have one that I think might be relevant to us, so let's get started. Okay, so the title is Husband is being a budget bunny and affecting my lifestyle choices.
Budget bunny or budget Barbie?
They put bunny.
Oh,
Is
first
that-
time
is that
I've
a
heard
term?
it. I've never heard it. I only heard budget Barbie. But that's like
For a
that
lady.
Click Network
But it's for girls, no?
series. I don't know. I've never heard of budget bunny. I think I've read this story, but anyway, continue.
Okay, so apparently, so this is obviously from the wife's
Wives.
oh my god, I can't speak perspective. So we've been planning for our BTO, house reno, etc., and have been spending the past few months browsing and shopping for appliances and furniture for our new home. My husband has been questioning every shopping decision I make in order to scream and save money. I have to explain why I want this appliance instead of that. Find the best deal for the thing that I want for our home, and it's honestly getting tiring and frustrating. He often defaults to the cheapest item with no consideration for other factors like functionality, quality, brand, or my preference. I probably sound like a spoiled brat, but I'm really not. I feel like when the people say that, I feel like it's like
They feel like somebody will
so we
think
don't know
that
yet,
they're
we
spoiled
don't know
brat.
yet. I like to be able to spend on some household items freely without feeling guilty or the need to explain myself to him. We've been waiting for 4+ years to finally design our dream home and move together. I'm quite burnt out with having to justify certain expense every time. Our financial situation, we are both salaried people and contribute equally to our joint account. It's similar like us. We are financially comfortable. So I don't understand why he needs to be so budget conscious to the point of us fighting over every single item. Feels a little penny wise, pound foolish. Sad face. Yes, he is generally a thrifty person, and I knew that already when marrying him. He does keep me in check on the budgeting side. So note, using a throwaway account to post this, it took me a lot of courage to post this on Reddit, as I'm hope for some advice on coping on this. Update, some of you were asking some examples. For
Right,
examples,
I thought you say we...
no, so these
Oh.
examples, so you give examples. One is Grohe tap fittings. Do you know what's that?
Yeah, that's the one that I think Kwa and Yijing has, no?
Okay, I don't know. Grohe tap fittings versus Taobao ones. This is something we use every day. Yeah, okay, tap. Water filter instead of a kettle. Understand that this is highly debatable, but we're hoping to have a kid next year, and I think a water filter will save a lot of time versus having to keep boiling water manually. And no, I'm not going for something high-end like wells. Sorry if like my reading suddenly like all over the place. But you understand the story? You hear the story?
Yeah, I've read it.
Oh, you
I've
read
read
it
it before.
So, any thoughts so far?
Funnily enough, like my friends and I during lunch were talking about this kind of thing. Like, oh, when you move in with a partner, what are like things you...
Is this going to be a common thing? Everything that you're...
Yeah, because I literally... Because
just-
we didn't have a... You know how every time after I come home from a social gathering, then I'll go to Kenneth. And I'm like,
then
Kenneth...
info dump.
And then Kenneth will be like ignoring me.
I'm
while
not ignoring-
watching his YouTube video, several YouTube videos at once. You know, it's a YouTube shorts and a YouTube video playing at the side. And then he'll open his phone and then he'll ignore me.
All ladies be like coming home. Then the guy, after a gathering, come and just... just like...
No, but literally we were coincidentally
yeah.
talking about it too. And then like, because I think a few of us just got their house or moved in like together in the past 2 years, right? Our friend group also have,
Yeah.
Or like, Yu Xing is literally renovating right now. So they were having like Yu Xing was saying like, Jeremy keep asking her whether I want to upgrade this, and then she'll say no. But then like it seems like just like kind of a joke between them. You know how Yu Xing you can like poke her, but I think she's hearing this. If she's hearing this, but anyway, the point is
It's a
this
test of
came
friendship
up.
whether she recognized this or not. Shout out to Yu Xing who may not be listening to this. You little bitch.
Yeah, but we were talking about this, and then I think things like tap, right? It shouldn't scream. I feel like things like taps, you want them to be like long lasting. You want them to,
Sure.
not like rust after a while, and you're using it every day. If it's something that you use on a daily basis, I think you should go for a better quality one. For example, like I don't know, some countertop that my friends were talking about. What did they say? Skinted?
I have no
Can't
idea.
remember. But basically, it's like a kitchen countertop that is heat proof, scratch proof, whatever. I feel like these kind of things, if it's like used on a daily basis, and if you want to replace it's gonna be very troublesome, then you should like not like be too stingy on it, I suppose, and go for like a Taobao quality where it might be questionable. And then things like beds, like mattresses. I think those are things that you shouldn't be too what's the term that you use? Penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, from what I see this, right, it feels like there might be different expectation in terms of how they expect what they expect out of the house. I can see this being, I can see why the guy may want to be damn budget with everything. It might be because he's thinking that we're gonna move out in 5 years' time. So he's like, we're gonna sell the house and upgrade. Like we're gonna make money out of this house. So, and I think to be fair, a lot of people who think from that perspective that they're not planning to stay here forever. This is just a place where they'll sit for 5 years. They tend to keep reno simple because it's not worth the money to splurge on. Like all your countertop, all this is like, yeah, like you're right. If you treat this as a place you're gonna stay for the next 10, 20 years, or like the taps as well. But if you're gonna stay here for the 5 years, you don't need the taps to last more than 5 years. For example, it's not gonna be a problem anymore. And besides, when the new owner comes in, they probably want to renovate themselves, lah.
But then she did say they've been waiting for 4.5 years. This doesn't seem like
I mean, they're just waiting for BTO. Normal lah. That's just BTO ma.
yeah lah. But
So regardless, he may still looking at selling it in 5 years time. Yeah. So it doesn't
maybe.
matter how long you wait for your BTO.
I
But
guess so.
yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
feel like even that sounds reasonable. But if that was like my partner, let's say you come and tell me like we're gonna sell in 5 years, what? I say yeah, but we're still living here for 5 years.
yeah.
So I also don't want to like get things that won't
Okay, so maybe let's go with tap first.
taps.
Actually, to be honest, taps. What's the price difference? I mean,
I also don't know.
yeah, it's because to be fair, tap is just a tap.
Yeah.
How bad can taps be?
Okay, so our shower head, the
Oh,
one
yeah.
that what was it? The Sally's, right? Sally's, is it Sally's?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bit rusty.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
now and
yeah.
then. I mean, can wipe away lah.
Yeah, but no, I don't want that to happen to
The tap.
or like to the silverware that you have in bathroom lah. And it's
Okay.
been barely like a few months only, right?
Yeah, it's not even a year.
Yeah, so that kind of like quality wise, if it's like that, I think it's a no for me.
But the
'cause-
current tap that we use, okay, what?
yeah lah, but I mean that's the HDB one. It's not the
Yeah, lor,
$30
so
Sally's
it's not
one.
it's
lah.
not gonna be a whatever branded grow hay. I assume that's gonna be
I don't
significantly
know,
more
but that's the one that
expensive.
you see in like corporate office buildings. Also.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, clearly cannot don't pay
Yeah,
attention.
no,
to.
my corporate office is shit. What?
Oh really?
We won't have this kind
You
of
don't have grow hay taps?
Dude, one of my tap is like the water is so little one. Then I always refuse to use that bloody tap. I always go the other tap. Then sometimes bo pian, 2 person already using that, I have to use the third tap. Then I'll be like, spending another extra 30 seconds because the water flow is so slow. I don't know why.
But like like taps, right? Have those really fancy one that look like waterfall. Your auntie
Yeah,
house
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind.
yeah.
I don't need that kind. I just don't want it to rust.
What's the point of those? It just
Looks
looks
cool,
nice.
maybe.
Oh, that's so lame.
this your auntie's house.
But it's them. I mean, like, I mean, why would I need to feel?
No, but I mean, if you're already
pleasing
like at that certain
when I'm
level of
washing my hand?
income, you're just like, why not, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I guess it's.
But yeah, that's my point. I don't want things that will like spoil easily. Cause very 搞味 if you got rust and all that shit.
So I don't know. Like, I mean, if they're financially stable, I think firstly is maybe just to align like what they see this house to be lah. Maybe they never had this discussion, or like the guy feel like it's not worth spending all this money on this reno when we're not gonna stay here for too long. Just keep something simple and so on.
Did she reply to any of the comments to give more details?
Not really. Yeah. But it is, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a big difference in the cost lah.
Yeah.
Water filter instead of kettle.
Can have both what? Why not? You need to boil hot water too. For tea or whatever. Coffee.
I mean, I think the water filter is, because they say that water filter the kind of water filter they're looking at is those that with hot water kind. Because they're comparing it to
I know,
kettle.
those dispenser thingies.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like the Brita filter.
Yeah, so I think it's probably couple $100 lah at least.
Hey, you want not?
And kettle is just $20-$30. I don't need
But got cold water.
Yeah, which I can put ice on. I would prefer to have a good ice maker.
Like a fridge.
Yeah,
Or like
really good ice maker.
also those kind that you.
But I want good ice. A lot of the fridge ice is like tiny ass one. Then it's like it melts damn fucking fast. I hate it. Because when it melt fast, then it dilutes your drink very fast.
Oh.
I hate it. Yeah.
I don't know why.
I love
I don't
big ice
usually
cube.
drink
Give me
cold
them.
drinks.
Give me them big. I love it when it's big.
Wow, that's what she said.
Wow.
Ice cubes.
I don't know,
Wow.
leh. I feel like it's just having that conversation.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah, what's the price difference are we looking at? What do you think are the things that you feel like needs to be expensive in a house, in our place in the future?
I don't think it's like expensive.
Because I don't think we had this conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh wow, you're listening to it live. Whoever's listening.
have we discussed? I mean, we just briefly touched about it here and there, but we never talk about what are the things. I mean, we have talked about how the bed needs
It's
to
important.
be a bit good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And actually, a lot of people have been telling me that also lah.
Yeah.
Like bed is probably the most important thing that you shouldn't scrimp on.
Yeah.
But the rest is like, yeah.
I don't think it's like about whether choosing something that is more expensive for the sake of choosing something more expensive. But I'm willing to pay for quality if I think it optimizes my life.
So you think like, for example, the countertop in kitchen needs.
Yeah.
But it also depends on how much you're cooking.
But the thing is that I am very accident prone, so I don't want things that can scratch. I want things that are scratch proof also. So I need to accident proof the
You live in a bunker. Is it?
So that sounds good, something that is scratch proof, so I
But
can't
the
destroy
alternative
it.
is, why don't you get something that can be easily replaced?
Then you have to go through the trouble of finding someone to help you replace it.
Yeah lah, so
and then
nothing-
replace it again. I don't know.
Okay lah,
I want to
just-
save trouble down the road also. I think that will.
But I feel like
Yeah, a
everything
guiding
will get
principle.
destroyed every now and you won't be able to predict anything that will.
Yeah lah, but you can try to minimize ma.
I mean, wooden countertops cannot.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you can have one that is scratch proof and heat proof.
Not fully scratch proof. I think most countertops should be heat proof. Got countertop not.
I don't know lah. Yeah, I'm just saying only lah. I also never look. You look into it, man.
No, I never.
Yeah, then still say.
I just like confused. Like,
Just trying to be devil's
what
advocate.
else? What else do you think is?
I don't know what else. Bed is the one main thing I can think of. And I remember there was one time we went to a friend's house and then she say like she see the towel on the floor and then she like opted for the cheaper one because she's like I don't want to spend the additional $2,000 and then she mega regret. So I think like maybe things like towels we should also think carefully about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is going to be a huge pain in the ass to replace. Or if it's like you're going to see every day, then if you go away, then it's like going to bother you every day,
Yeah.
So I think those things we need to think carefully.
Yeah.
And don't just go for the cheapest option. Just go for, strike a balance lor.
I'm trying to think what are the things that I care most when it comes to a house. Cause like some people are very particular with their fridge. Yeah, which I guess the ice maker is good to have, but not really the most important thing for me.
Oh, I know one thing.
Some people like need double doors fridge. for example.
Why?
Yeah.
They want to
Just-
open like that.
That's just what they want. Yeah. I think maybe sofa might be important.
I know one thing for me.
What?
I want a ledge or a table, a bedside table. I want to roll over and check what time it is without having sit up, reach for my phone so far away.
This woman, whenever we... Sometimes I sleep later than Yvette.
That one I cannot compromise. I need a bedside
I come
table.
in the room. Then sometimes I'll wake Yvette up. Then Yvette will insist on wanting to know what time it is. I was like, bro, just sleep.
I want to know what's wrong with knowing what time it is. Then I'll be like, oh wow,
No
got 6
difference.
hours left to sleep.
It doesn't make any difference.
It makes a difference.
It's like
It makes a
It's like
difference.
trying to find out when your bus is coming.
Yes.
knowing when your bus is coming in 3 minutes or 5 minutes doesn't make a difference.
like, okay,
the
for
bus will
example-
come when the bus will come.
It's like if you wake up in the middle of the night, then you want to know what time it is, so you can be like, oh, I still got 1 hour left to sleep rather than I only got 5 minutes. Okay?
Just
It makes a
sleep.
difference.
Just go back to sleep.
Oh my god. But bedside table, that's something I will definitely need and I will not compromise on. Otherwise, you give me the side with the bedside table. I don't care.
Okay, sure. Yeah, bedside table, sure.
Very important. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? I mean like things like doors and everything. Like it can't be ugly.
Yeah.
That's my only like request. Like don't be ugly. Simple is fine.
I have a friend
Just
who,
don't be ugly.
I have a friend who recently told me something that you may want to consider is that because she's moving to a new place, and she said that her previous experience of her previous place is that she built a lot of things, but then in the end she feel like she got bored of the design after some time. So in her new place, when she's gonna move in, she said that she's gonna make things a bit less permanent, so that she can change up things in the future.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you?
I'm thinking like
Because I know that you are someone who will get bored.
no, so I think the base should be like simple. But then what we can do or what I can have options for is like, I don't know, things that can be switched out or things like basically like for example the wall can be beige, doors can be brown, that kind. But then like I have like display cabinets or something which I can switch out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So like for example, cabinets, do you think that you want it to be
what cabinet?
fixed?
Like what do you
like no, like clothes.
Of course, yeah. Wardrobe.
Fixed,
Yeah.
So like inbuilt.
I think wardrobe is like basic one ma. So I feel like I don't need it to like it can be plain. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Because you have those like IKEA one, and then you have custom made one. So the question is whether you want to spend money on the custom made one, for example.
I don't know.
I
I mean they can inbuilt IKEA one also, right?
Not really, because it depends on your space that you're using to build, and then whether you see, for example, you have like weird edges that, like for example, the cabinet. Then okay, this is a dumb design lah. The one that I it's a bit hard to explain, but yeah.
No, but
some corners.
custom made makes sense. I mean it's just like inbuilt lor, I guess.
It's just that it's painful lah when problems, because you can't just replace the cabinet. It's not as
true.
straightforward. That's the only
I mean see how
thing
long.
lah.
I mean things like bookshelves I don't need built in. I just need like IKEA one also can.
yeah.
Yeah, and then lights. I think lights is also important. I cannot take how how dark your room used to be. So I think like thinking through the lighting is also important. Yeah,
Okay.
I think those are key things.
But okay, I don't know whether there's any key things to point out here. I'm gonna read some comments. Sis, I hear you. My boyfriend and I have similar issues. It's an ongoing battle, but here are some tips. It's exhausting to debate the use case of every single household item, so don't. The key is to build trust. Start with a couple items, explain why you think these are the right choice. You put in a lot of time and effort to make this assessment, and that lends it more merit than simply looking at the cheapest option, regardless of quality. If you can convince him once, it makes subsequent purchases easier because he will trust your opinion more. Highlight the items you have purchased in the past that have stood the test of time and proven their worth. My boyfriend said IKEA is poor quality, but I have a 15-year-old $80 IKEA wardrobe that begs to differ. Try to see things from his perspective. Your finances are comfortable now, but maybe his upbringing taught him that you should spend sunny days planning for rainy ones. A grocery tab ranges from $200 to $700. It won't make much of a dent in your current budget, but that extra $500 could come in handy one day when one of you decides to take a no pay leave to look after the baby. to put things into perspective, he's not saving money just for himself. He's saving for the future that both of you will share. Oh, so not bad. Quite interesting. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Grocery is 200 to 700. That's a very big range though.
That's very expensive tabs.
How
But-
you know how much tabs cost?
I don't know. Tabs to me is like $40.
No, I don't think so.
It's just a piece of metal, Yvette.
Yeah, one house, how many tabs? What is $200 times 3?
Yeah, that's $600. You pay out.
See, that's the thing also. Because it's paid through the joint. I wonder if there's something that we really want and then like,
We let the other person.
then it's like, then you pay lor. Let's say like coffee, right? I mean,
Let's say I want coffee machine. Then you're like, you don't really.
but
want
actually I'm generally okay also because I think I will use.
it.
So I can't really think what I mean like those your gaming things then obviously is like you own self pay.
Yeah lah,
you know.
yeah.
Bookshelf, I don't know. Is that joined? It depends.
I mean, everything can be joined lah, unless it's like extremely expensive. Then we should talk about whether we want it.
and then if you
And
want it then
if really if we cannot meet a compromise, then yeah lor.
Then you own self
Then
pay lor.
separately will be maybe a solution to look at it
Yeah.
lah. Yeah, I think that could be a solution also. If two of you cannot agree, and if one really want more than the other, then that one person opt to pay for it lor. But I don't know whether that will build up resentment though. You know what I mean?
And it's like, well, this couch I buy, then you also
Yeah,
you don't want to pay.
You keep using the tab, no shit. Oh, you keep using our tab. Huh? I paid for this tab, you never pay a single cent. Then bro, what may I do? Toilet bowl.
Flush.
I use the
She
toilet
flush
bowl
it.
and wash. Oh my god. Yeah, that'll be quite funny. Imagine I pay for the sofa. You keep sitting on the sofa that I paid for.
What about you want a dishwasher?
Oh yeah, I do.
Right? You do, but then I'm like, it's not like a must have, it's like a good to have. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay lah, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think washing machine though, I would prefer to have a dryer, like a washer dryer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can discuss
So see,
when
these are
our
things-
house will be more ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. Is the washer dryer is because I feel like I will do laundry more and that will help me and I want it. Then dishwasher is because you hate doing the dishes, so that will help
Yeah.
remove.
I want to make my
that
life
task.
easier. Okay lah. I
Yeah.
think we spent quite a lot of time on this. We can move on to another story. You have a story that you want to bring out?
You want a Singaporean one or
Anything, up to you.
this is it's quite funny. Not funny, but funny in a sad way. Am I the asshole for not telling a Chinese girl I'm Japanese before having sex with her?
Sorry again?
Am I the asshole for not telling a Chinese girl, like Chinese,
yeah.
girl that I'm a Japanese before having sex with her?
Okay.
I'm a
Interesting.
Japanese university student currently living in Shanghai, and my friends are a mix of foreigners and locals. We often go to the clubs to pick up girls, and today was one of those days. After about 30 minutes in the club, I started talking to this Chinese girl in English, and we decided to go back to her place. After having sex, she asked for my WeChat, and I gave it to her, but she started freaking out after finding out my surname is Japanese. She basically yelled at me and forced me out while threatening to call the police. This was a shocker to me and never happened in the 6 months that I was here. I asked my friend who is a local and he said it happens sometimes and I should have told her I'm Japanese before I had sex with her. Am I the asshole?
To be honest, from the context, if let's say I'm a Westerner, I'll be like, no lah, you're not asshole.
Yeah.
But
But I think we understand the
Context
historical
yeah.
background. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would think that. I mean, my immediate reaction is that there's still some form of like disdain against the Japanese
Disdain,
people.
yeah.
Disdain
Yeah.
from the Chinese. So, it's not whether it's right or wrong. It's just like, I mean, looking at history, you can understand why Chinese may not look at Japanese in a positive light lah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I see the asshole.
yeah.
I don't think whether it's like an asshole or not asshole situation. I also wonder how aware he is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't tell if they were speaking in English. I don't know. There are no details on his like knowledge and background. So I mean,
Yeah.
we only have that to go off. But like maybe he's also not super aware on how countries like China sees Japanese people.
He's there for 6 months.
Yeah.
He's a university student.
Yeah. In Shanghai.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if he should know by then. I mean, depends on how often he go around and sleeping with people.
But it's not like local, like he said he got local Chinese friend, right? It's not like if you meet friends with locals, they go around and like, yeah, remember the rape of Nanking? Like, people also...
I mean, the friends also will be like, hey, I think girls may not be into you.
Yeah,
because you're
right,
Japanese."
yeah.
I don't think friends will do that too.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to bring out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird thing to say, yeah, you know, a lot of Chinese people hate Japanese. Like, that's a weird thing to say
I
also.
think it's more like probably he's caught by surprise that people react that way lah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that people may feel a bit uncomfortable for whatever reason. But that's also partly, I feel like it's on her to figure out. Yeah. So,
Yeah. And like, I guess his university means he's what, like 20, 21?
early
like,
20s or
Maybe like, if he hasn't left the country much, then this is also like the first time he encountered a situation where his nationality was seen like this.
I would think that, actually, to be honest, I don't know how, I mean, maybe my friends could clarify in the future, but like how much Japanese know about,
How the outside world views them.
yeah, like, cause I know that they are I mean, they probably share about the World War, but they probably wouldn't delve too much into the horrors lah, the crimes, the war crimes.
Yeah.
So maybe the guy is like, he's not aware that,
Yeah.
you know,
I
the other
remember
side
reading
sees that way.
another Reddit thread. I was telling you about the rape of Nanjing.
Yeah.
Then I think some of the comments were talking about how they do talk about it in the school books, like in the newer school books. So the younger
Japan.
generation, yeah, I mean, obviously it isn't written in the most, I don't know how it's written out, right? But like the younger generations are aware and they can also read between the lines because they are Japanese, right? So they know how to read between the lines on what is officially printed.
Yeah.
But it's like the older generation that probably didn't grow up with that in their textbooks or, you know, in the media that they read.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, but the younger generations are aware.
I mean, with the internet and all, you
Yeah.
could also figure out more of this kind of information lah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is he an asshole? Do you think he's an asshole? I feel like no.
Yeah.
He's not an asshole because I don't think he's aware.
I don't think he
purposely.
It wasn't
like,
intentional. Yeah,
I'm
let me
Japanese,
go
let me
and-
go and fuck these Chinese girls and make them
Yeah.
upset. I don't think anyone.
I think it's just like unfortunate on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this person, top comment, was saying, did she ask for a nationality before having sex? It just seems strange that she didn't ask where you are from, as it's the first question everyone asks in China. But yeah, it's fucked up anyway. Are there any friends who could testify it was a friendly encounter? Are there any cameras in her building that can prove you were invited to a place? Be careful she doesn't report you to the police, as the 外国人, the foreigners, is almost always wrong, and protect yourself. So people are like worried that he will get reported.
True.
Yeah.
That's
So
quite worrying.
a lot of the follow-up comments were about like historical baggage, a lot of anger between Japan, China, Korea, and the Philippines due to World War II. And then like the apologies don't resonate because the actions don't match up. The government denies the atrocities. The rape of Nanjing is not taught in schools. Japanese officials refuse to visit related Chinese memorials. And in 2018, Osaka, former sister city of San Francisco, revoked the status was the status of being a sister city, I suppose, was revoked due to a statue that commemorates comfort women. Also, they revoked their sister city status of San Fran due to San Fran having a statue that commemorates comfort women. Then due to apologies,
San Fran and which city?
Osaka
So Osaka
and San Fran
refute-
Osaka revoked the status because San Fran had a statue, I think, that commemorates comfort women. Due
wait,
to
so they commemorate comfort women, like talk about how they were mistreated during the war.
I guess how they suffered.
Okay. Cause I was just thinking like,
San Fran had the statue.
okay.
I mean, that's what I
Okay.
mean. This person is
Yeah.
not clear also, lah,
No,
but
I
I'm
was
assuming
I was trying to figure out why would Japanese be upset, but okay, I understand now.
I mean, I'm assuming that the statue is in San Fran because this person didn't say. I mean, I don't see it being in Osaka.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, then so it's like the Japanese government thinks it's done enough, and due to not actually following through on accountability, many Chinese people refuse to accept. And then this person edit OP is obviously not personally responsible. I'm just trying to explain why the animosity still exists.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's fair to say that the girl would ask about it lah.
Then this person was saying, if she was so concerned about your ancestry, she should have done a DNA report. Or, at the very least, known what your last name was.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then a lot of people are saying, not the asshole. But before you sleep with another Chinese girl in Shanghai, it's not the worst idea to let her know you're Japanese ahead of time.
good. Yeah lah.
Just now
knowing-
that she learned lah,
Yeah.
right?
But I'm also, it does sound like it's quite worrying for the guy perspective. Like, oh no, what if she blew it out of proportion?
Yeah.
She start accusing him of all those things, and then, people will be upset.
Yeah. Then people are saying
side.
maybe she assumed that he was Korean or another Asian nationality if he was speaking English. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's actually, I chose this because I thought it was interesting to talk about how, like nowadays, a lot of people are like, wow, Japan is great. People love going to Japan. People love traveling to Japan also because the yen
Even
fell.
the
Apparently, we
Chinese
should buy
also-
yen now.
The Chinese also love going to
Yeah,
Japan.
right? They love
Yeah.
going to Japan too.
Yeah.
But then it's like a reminder that this kind of like historical baggage is not as historical as we think it is. It still carries through in people's attitudes towards certain
Or rather,
countries.
I would say that World War is still very.
It's
in our
not as
recent memory
yeah,
lah.
it's not as
It's
long ago as we
relatively-
think
yeah.
it is. Like
I would
this-
say that if 500 years later, I would think the attitudes probably would be
I
a bit
mean,
more
if
different.
the countries that we know still exist lah.
Yeah, I think attitudes would be a bit more different lah.
Yeah. So it's like those anti-Japanese sentiment is also, in Korea, it's like the tension between these two countries is actually very much alive still. But like in our present day, we don't think about it. And I guess in Singapore, like we just love going to Japan. But then actually, there are probably like old people in Singapore who also like hate the Japanese for World War II,
Yeah.
right? We were literally conquered by them. Like,
Yeah.
and they were a lot of people, who were shot dead at Changi Beach, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, they also committed
The
a
what do you
few-
call it? Sok Ching? Suk Ching? That
yeah,
massacre
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought history is not as old as we think it is.
I'm just trying to think like in Singapore, will something like this happen and in what context? Because it's like the races are quite clearly visible, I feel.
Yeah.
Are there any specific race that we will be a bit uncomfortable with and this scenario happen? I think unlikely. Like even if you're talking about like this generic like Asian stereotypical face. Like if I'm mistaken as a Japanese or Korean, I don't think people will bat eyelid. Yeah. So I can't see like a similar scenario. Like,
Where
I'm a
people-
Malaysian. Yee, Malaysian. I don't think anyone will go about doing that.
Like you lied to me before
Oh my
we had
god, you
sex.
never tell me that
Yeah.
you Malaysian. I only want Singaporean. It's like, I'll be like, that'll be genuinely confused. Yeah, I don't think Singapore will happen something like this. But that's interesting to hear that.
Right.
Like, I mean, to be honest, also we don't fully understand like the cultural behavior of Chinese, right? Yeah, so we don't know the nuances and how. I mean, recently there was this story about the Japanese boy being stabbed. Have you read about it?
Slept.
Stabbed. Was killed in China. So that became
Oh, the
like
Japanese boy, the school boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that apparently became like a big thing. Because
Yeah.
it talked about like the nationalistic China.
He went to the school, right?
Actually, I don't know what's the
I
content
think
of the
I
story.
read it. He went to the school. I think he wanted to attack people, like Japanese people, and then
Oh,
I think he probably attacked more than just that boy, but he's the one who died.
shit.
And then like a lot of the Japanese in China were then like very scared because it's like, what's this knife attack happening against
Yeah. What's
Japanese.
this open
Yeah.
racism? I don't know.
But yeah. But I also wonder like what's the Japanese mentality also, like how aware they are,
I mean, I would like to think that people in Japan should be somewhat aware, lah. Right? Given that they are there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
anyway,
okay.
there was a
Interesting
my-
story. Moving on to another one. So this comes from the not Singapore. I believe it's not Singapore. Am I the asshole? Okay. Am I the asshole if I break up with my fiance after she showed a startling change of behavior after getting engaged? So I, 32-year-old male, just recently proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, Sharon, female 30-year-old, so 2 years difference, like a month and a half ago. And it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a 180. Entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible, and at least it seemed we share common beliefs and morals. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us. But not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just meeting them when I already met Sharon's 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia, both not present, over a year and a half ago. Sharon said she wanted to make sure we were a sure thing before I met her inner circle. Quote unquote. I found this strange, not to mention it was a weeknight and they were quickly draining my wine rack of wine. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me, so often she practically lives here. Oh my god, that typo. It's a very long story, by the way, I caveat first. Still, I found it incredibly rude when they left with 4 empty bottles of rosé in their wake. I tried to talk to Sharon about having uninvited guests on weeknights, and she dismissed my grievance very flippantly. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Flippant, yeah.
Yeah. More that she brushed me off. More that she brushed me off? I don't understand that part.
It's like more than just that, she brushed me off.
Okay.
Yeah.
The following week, she went out with the girls several times, and when she brought the girls to my place, they all treated me like a butler, shaking their empty wine glasses at me for refills. After a 4th time, I made it clear I would get a locked wine rack. Sharon just called me no fun after that. It gets worse. Sharon decided me and the girls got off on the wrong foot and said we should have dinner together at a nice restaurant. Well, I went and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but deflected every question I asked. It got especially bad at night when they started talking about modern relationships and jealousy, and one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page. Specifically, what ifs regarding polyamory and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon said we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on things only a month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping intimate partners in friend circles and was staunchly monogamous. The worst part was that when the bill arrived, Sharon announced it should be together and slipped me the check. I told her she can't be serious and we got into a bit of argument. I ended it by putting my amount down in cash and walked out, leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I even pushed at it, she would give me an apology and promise she was just stressed at work. It's nuts, we haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday when at work, I got a Nest doorbell alert. I think that's
Yeah.
what
Like
do you
a
call it?
ring doorbell
Yeah.
kind of situation.
And checked and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in and exiting with my golf clubs. This set was a gift from my father, and it cost a pretty penny too. So Sharon lending it out without my permission got me pissed. I immediately called Sharon and told her and her friend to return the clubs. Sharon tried to gaslight me with, but you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember? I told her the clubs cost would move it into a serious crime, and her friend had an hour to return them or the cops would be called. Sharon kept insisted she got my permission and I told her to cut the crap. Well, not 45 minutes later, I got another notification of Sharon and her friend coming back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them. Sharon's friend flipping off the Nest doorbell on the way out. I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just threw the clubs and back on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her again to cut the crap. I said if I knew this was how she was, I would have never proposed. That seemed to freak her out, and again she insisted that she was stressed from work, but I wasn't buying it anymore. I told her to return the ring and her key, and we will talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried and begged me not to cancel the engagement and insisted that it was just stress. I told her again that we will talk about it this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyway after she left just to be safe. Sharon was texting me constant of love. constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up, and insisted she was only wanting to show off to her close friends. Show me off to her close friends. I don't know, I'm just not buying it. The same close friends have been sending me texts daily, calling me toxic and fragile again, saying that I knew I wasn't man enough for Sharon or secure enough to share her with friends. A few of my friends that knew Sharon the entire 2 years were dating were surprised and can't believe she turned Hyde. Turn Hyde? Is this a word?
Hyde, Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, what's this reference? Like just suddenly
You know
turn
Jekyll
180?
and like
No.
oh, is Jekyll and Hyde is that story? Is I think it's a classic story of like this doctor who seemed like it's like the Hulk.
Oh, just suddenly
Yeah,
change
like
up.
he suddenly changed into a beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there must be something missing, or that I'm leaving something out. They say that I must have said something to trigger our friends to act like this, and I had to have been the asshole somewhere along the process. Yep.
Wow.
So this is a very long story, but it's interesting because it sounds as though like she was never herself.
She
all
was just
along.
like people pleasing him.
She was trying to get him and doing everything that she can to get him. And the moment he proposed, she's like, okay, I locked this down already.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like this,
Yeah.
from the current
Like he probably felt that they were very compatible because she just agreed with
everything.
went along, you know,
like,
with things.
actually, I'm very religious man. Oh, so am I.
Yeah, I go to church every Sunday. Like, yeah, maybe. Like, she just sounds like she, turn, like, people pleasing her.
Yeah. So, sounds like a nightmare. I think if this happens to me, I will be shocked. If I suddenly,
What do I turn into?
I don't know, a nice Christian girl.
You cannot have my tattoos how? All these are fake.
No,
can scrape off one. Can scrape off
peel
one.
off, then
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And Jesus
face is
Christ
here.
appear. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh shit. Because I think, to be honest, I think the shock is more like you feel like you don't even know this person anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that will be,
And she kept it for 2 years.
and that will feel most painful. I feel like what the fuck? I wasted my 2 years.
Yeah.
Like this person has been lying to me for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty fucked.
And her friends are so fucking rude.
It's strange, It's like, yeah. Then you also feel gaslight. It's like, what the fuck is? Am I the problem? Like everybody is like shit towards me.
So what happened to the two friends that she introduced as the best friend? Maybe they were not even best friends, but they were just normal casual friends. And then she said like, yeah, these are my best friends because they are like the good, the good girls that can get along with him.
Yeah. So there's a comment here. Not the asshole. You said that you met the two of her friends, Michelle and Octavia, previously. Have they had anything to say about this flip behavior or the 6 strangers that materialized? So OP did mention, I did message Michelle on Facebook last night. I asked her about the 6 and she told me that her, Octavia and Sharon are cousins grew up together. Michelle said that she didn't really care for the 6 but didn't say much else. Yeah, so that's already a bit sus. Like I think it sounds like she also don't really know.
Wow.
Some other comments.
But you know, this reminds me of a video that I saw, like a TikTok that was made by someone. And then this person was saying like, yeah, this guy is such a cheapskate. He doesn't want to pay for all of us. It sounds like the exact same dinner scenario because it was the girl's friend, like the girlfriend's friend. And then there was a big group of them. And then the man was like, no, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah.
And he just walked off. And then all the women, oh my God, he's terrible. He's a cheapskate. And then all the comments were like, no,
Yeah.
you're the delusional one.
You know, one thing I appreciate our relationship when it comes to finances is that we are the shared account. I think the fact that we are putting it together, and then whenever we want to treat people, we treat together. And I appreciate that. Yeah.
That I'm okay to treat together.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like it takes away a lot of, like,
Nyam.
yeah, like small, like, I mean, as much as sometimes like I treat or you treat or whatever, like I think as much as you try not to geek out about it, I think back in your head you also have some, like you'll be like, okay, I usually treat more than Yvette, for example. So that became like something that you would remember and hold on.
Wait, you will remember I treat more than Yvette.
I mean,
But if you want to treat, you want to treat. What?
I'm not saying that I'm counting, but I feel like at the back of the head, I do count.
Why?
Unconsciously. It's just something.
No. But the thing is like, let's say treating people is like your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's my choice.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's my choice. Yeah. I never say it's not my choice. What?
Yeah, so you mean as in treating our joint friends lah, not like you treat your friend.
No,
kind of-
so like in general, like I mean, once I don't know whether to call this a love language, but a way that I appreciate people is I like to offer buying them meals. Yeah, and this is something that I do to a lot of my friends. Yeah, then when we were dating, also we are we still dating now? We are engaged. We are not dating anymore. But like when we go out together, like usually I will also offer to pay, right? And then yeah, and I think last year also because the fact that at that period of time I know that I earn a bit more than you, so I feel like it's, I mean, not say responsible, but I also enjoy the fact that I'm able to always take the initiative to pay more lah.
So when you say treat, you mean like we treat
Buy
each
meals,
other.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
So
that makes
I-
sense. Because I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, so
If you don't treat your friends, then how is it
So
my problem?
that's why I'm looking at this scenario. I was like, this wouldn't happen to me cause I feel like if we want to treat, then it's a joint thing. It won't be like you treat, I treat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't like slide the check over to you.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
yeah.
slide it over to you because then you'll claim from our joint account.
Yeah. If you have a claim system, set up a claim system. Let's see another comment. 2 years and she didn't introduce you to these friends. She knows how terrible they are and how terrible she is with them. She put on quite a show to get the ring, and now she thought she had locked you down. She can show her true colors. Unless you're leaving something out, you're definitely not the asshole. You're not toxic or fragile. You have standards. What she did at the restaurant and with the clubs is toxic. It seems like she wants to show them she has you wrapped around her fingers, and that you will allow her and them to do whatever they want. I wouldn't give her another chance to use you or for what you can do or give to her. No one that loves you would treat you like this, friends or no friends present.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like,
She's the asshole.
I mean, if he's not leaving any details out,
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, the fact that like, you know, like I think the clubs she say is a
The father
father's
gift
gift,
one,
right?
yeah.
Like to just take and then, yeah, without asking, I feel like that's fucked up. Yeah. So, guess what? There's an update.
Oh?
Yeah. So update is hopefully slightly shorter. It's slightly shorter lah. Is lah. Sharon's been gone now for an hour. Breakup is official. I have the ring back. I did talk to Michelle via Facebook, and Michelle said her and Octavia were cousins of Sharon. And Michelle also said she knew the six and didn't care for them. This was the comment earlier on. Michelle didn't say much more than that. I did meet Sharon's parents and they both seemed to like me. And the topic of Michelle and Octavia never came up around them. None of the finances were intermingled yet, but it was planned for later this month, which won't happen. I invited 3 of our mutual friends, Casey, John, and Mike, to be here when Sharon got here. Sharon showed up and was surprised to see we had company. I said they were here for both our sake. Sharon wanted to phone 3 of the 6 to come over to even things out, and I refused, and I used the cup theft as a reason. Sharon sat on the couch very dramatically and then asked if I want to make this public. I outright asked why she has changed so much after engagement and why she hid the existence of the 6. Sharon then went in again and about how she insinuates her inner circle insulates her inner circle until her partner is vetted. I called BS. I met her parents. What's more inner circle than your parents? That's true. Sharon tried to deflect, but I wouldn't have it. I pointed out how for the last month her friends dropping by cost me nearly $500 in wine, which she, by the way, made no attempt to reimburse. I also pointed out her trying to make me pay for an 8-person dinner bill without asking me first. She again said she wanted to show how great a guy I was, and how clearly she misjudged me and was disappointed in my attitude. Wow, that's damn fucked. I then asked about the clubs. She tried gaslighting with, "You totally said it was okay, remember?" And I kept saying bullshit. Mike piped in. He knew the clubs were a gift from my dad, and I was highly protective of them. He too caught BS. And that's when Sharon turned her attention to Mike and John and saying, "Isn't he getting forgetful lately? Don't you remember he forgot that one date? And neither was buying it." I finally said that forget postponing the wedding or cancelling the engagement. The entire relationship is going to end if she isn't going to be straight with me. Sharon made a very long, exaggerated sigh. She took the ring off and dropped it on the coffee table. She got up to leave and said, "You're never going to find someone as good as me." and to send her stuff to her apartment. She left, and Casey, John, and Mike were totally stunned. All I could say was, "Believe me now." We ordered pizza and are waiting for it to arrive now. I am still utterly shocked and confused by Sharon's attitude. I'm sure the heartbreak will come next, but right now I'm just kind of numb.
Poor guy.
Yeah, this woman sounds like she's a
Psychopath.
It's a fucking red flag. It's a giant red flag walking around. And
She did it for 2 years. That's like the
Yeah.
mind-boggling thing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if she met up with her 6 friends quite frequently, right? What has she been telling him that she's been doing when she's meeting them?
yeah.
Huh?
Means
I
that
wonder.
I mean, they are so inner circle, means that she has been meeting them without his knowledge also.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
So how did she explain that away? Is my question.
I don't know.
So weird.
Yeah, it is damn weird.
People are fucking weird.
I think very triggered like when she said that she wanted him to pay the bill because she wanted to show how great a guy I was. And that's the dumbest reason to ask someone to pay for
Yeah.
the bill. Yeah. I mean, like, if a guy wants to pay for it, the guy would volunteer for it. You don't go in and expect someone to pay for the bill. I feel like if you do that, that's already a red flag. It means that you are using the person. Yeah. Yeah.
So fucking weird.
And then I think she kind of knew like it's a lost case already. That's why she
Didn't
kind of
bother.
just
Yeah.
when you say like cancel the entire relationship over, she just and took out the ring.
Then she still pretend to be a victim still.
Yeah, she said you're never going to find someone as good as me. Bullshit.
小狼.
But one comment is like, you'll never find anyone like me. That's kind of the point. Then another comment is, don't threaten me with good time. Yeah.
小狼. Oh my god.
In
Really
comments,
小.
you dodged a major bullet, my friend. Be grateful she showed who she really is before you put down any deposits on venue or catering.
Yeah, boy.
That's true. Yeah. This kind of story is really like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have had friends who has engagement cancelled. Yeah. But nothing like stories crazy like this. Those that I know generally is like the relationship has some
Underlying issues.
root issues that they have never addressed thoroughly. And as the engagement come closer, some of these things start to manifest in a more what's it called that? Not exaggerated but more prominent way, because I think like
It's getting real.
yeah, start to get real.
Yeah.
People start really, okay, shit, am I really able to, deal with this guy for the rest of my life kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. But I'm glad the guy
Got out.
Yeah, got out, man. Fucking
Dodge a bullet. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This
Fucking
is,
小狼. Really 小狼.
yeah. Yeah.
Alright, is it my turn now?
Yes. I think we can go with another 1 to 2 more story.
This one's very short anyway. It's not really a story, but like a discussion. Explain to me just how fast-paced Singapore is.
I feel like I might have briefly seen this story.
Define fast-paced in Singapore. How exactly is it fast-paced and in what terms?
Okay.
I would love to get examples of this so I can actually understand why a lot of people say Singapore is a fast-paced country. Is it difficult to keep track of friends, their lifestyle, that kind of thing? So that's that person's discussion.
So it's like a question lah.
Yeah, it's more like a question.
So okay,
How
maybe
exactly is it fast-paced and in what terms? Give me examples. Then the person is like, why do people say that? Is it because it's difficult to keep track of friend? Is it your lifestyle? That kind of thing? Like why?
why you talk like
I
this?
don't know. I'm assuming it's
this
the
is the
dude.
comments, is it? Or what? Oh, I mean the guy
Then
continued to
I'm
point
repeating.
out.
I'm
Okay,
repeating.
okay.
I'm just
Suddenly
assuming.
you went. Oh,
I'm assuming it's a dude, bro. I don't know why. Is his name Jared? That kind of thing.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, we have traveled. I won't say I've traveled wildly, like a lot of countries, but like there are some countries that are a bit more chill. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, where it's not like Singapore. Fast pace.
Singapore.
Singapore. You know,
Singapore.
we're all Sinkies.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyway. What do we think there's fast pace? I would think like the amount of
Work? No. Changes?
yeah, I think things that changes in Singapore quite frequently. If we talk about construction, a lot of things is always happening. A lot
True.
of upgrading, maintenance, construction stuff always going on, which is a good sign for the economy. It means the economy is growing. If you stop seeing construction, actually it's a bad sign. Yeah, or unfinished construction. Yeah.
That's true.
So
Because that means somebody ran out of money to finish it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think
Changes.
how expensive things have gotten.
Is that
It's
fast
also-
paced?
I don't know. It's just like, I remember this thing was only $2 last time. Is that considered fast paced? Suddenly, it's $5 already. Walao.
I think fast paced is also like how busy everyone seems to be.
I think there was this what they call it, survey, I don't know. There's study that say that Singapore we walk very fast. That's one.
But sometimes I feel we don't walk fast enough.
Exactly. You see? I think like Hong Kong and Singapore, we walk very, very fast. Yeah. In fact, you go to different countries, usually like the city people usually tend to walk faster.
Yeah lah. And we're all city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one. Things. News? I don't know. What would be considered a fast-paced society?
Is it also that general feeling of kanchongness?
I think, okay, so maybe I, for example, work. Yeah. Like how we always trying to move things and make sure things are done quickly. And we can't stand when people take too long to reply us. I mean, I can speak for ourselves lah, more from that perspective. So when you work with other markets, sometimes you realize like the pace is a bit different. I don't know whether I shared this before, but I've UK colleagues which they have so many holidays. So many holidays. That's one thing I would like to point out first. Yeah, they are also very mindful, very demure. They're very mindful with like
After office hours.
you cannot use these words. These are very triggering words.
Oh,
when it comes to
DEI.
stress. Yeah. So like cannot like do it now. Like you need to give us some pace. Yeah, slow down the pace a bit.
It might be a very like EMEA thing. Because I think in US they're also quite like
Chop.
yeah, I think so. Right? Because US they are also very profit driven ma.
Yeah, so I guess it's a kind of line of work lah. Yeah.
Actually maybe a good example is in Singapore and how impatient we might get in F&B. Like we want our food to be served faster.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And then people
yeah.
might get very like angry and like
Yeah.
agitated. And then they'll be like, where's my food? Why is it so slow? And then like I mean the staff is shorthanded, like what do you expect, right? But then people are like, where's my food? Where's my food? You know, that kind of
Yeah. Singaporeans are not really the
Oh,
most
driving.
patient. Yeah. I'm
Driving
about
is
to point
another
out
one.
Driving, the way that we drive, you can tell already.
Yeah.
It's you put signal, everybody is just not giving way. Yeah. Like today I just driving and then I want to cut to the left lane and this guy obviously got one car past me, then I want to cut in. Then you see this guy refusing to let me pass. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then next thing you know, he's filtering to the right lane which is where I was. I'm just like, what's the point? Is he trying to send a message? I don't know. Yeah.
Or like that guy, remember you say it's a white lane, but it's actually a single lane, and then got some guy trying to squeeze past
Oh
you.
yeah. And then he was like horning. Then I was just like ignoring. And then I see from my side mirror, he was like gesturing like. Initially, it's just one person gesturing. Then after that, the passenger also gesturing. Two person gesturing at me. It was actually that was, now I look back, it's quite funny. It's so dumb. It's really so dumb.
Yeah.
What else is considered fast? I think your food was a good example.
Right,
So,
yeah.
Like us wanting everything to be ready. Service, I think, remember how we were in Batam? Then we wanted to buy roti boy. Then we waited so long for the customer service, the cashier, because they were suddenly like they were like, oh, the money don't seem right. So they like literally the bread is just there. They could serve it to us. But instead of serving us, they spend like 10 minutes right in front of us.
Counting the money.
Counting money, recounting money, trying to figure out what's wrong. Then initially there was no queue, it's just me and Yvette. Then later there was like a queue of like 10 people behind us.
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking at them. And in the end they also couldn't get it fixed, and then they decided to serve us later on. I'm just like, oh, what is going on? Yeah, right. It's so strange, right?
Yeah. But I think to them, like, being efficient is not a key priority.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, if you want the food, you wait.
Yeah.
You don't want, you can go
You're
away.
gonna get the food
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. Yeah.
But I do realize that sometimes I need to catch myself to be a bit more patient. Especially when I drive. I also try my best to like,
Not road rage.
I mean, I don't road rage, what? I just right? But I don't
Yeah, I guess
don't
it's not road
I
rage.
don't you don't see me manifest anger. Even if I'm I'm irritated, but I'm never manifest to
You
anger.
never say CB.
I can say CB without
Oh, there's
being
no anger?
really angry. There's no anger. What? How many times have you seen me really, really being angry?
On the road?
In general. Not a lot of times.
Actually, I can't remember.
I think got once lah. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
Yeah, those
Use
kind.
cases.
The beef in Korea. Was it that one?
Oh,
Right?
it's at some market, right? Then
Then I feel bad because I insisted on going there.
you felt bad.
No, yeah, because
But it wasn't
I
your
wanted
fault,
to go
what?
to that market. Then I wanted to eat beef there because that's what they're
Why,
known
ah?
for.
It's because the guy.
Then you felt like he was charging us too much for that weight of beef, I think. Because he said like so suspicious. He just like put it there and say, yeah, this is how much it is. Remember?
To be honest, I blocked out my memory. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's an example that I remember.
But yeah, like
But
driving.
then you eat your beef anyway.
Yeah, but when I'm driving, I also like try to like if people signal, I'll just let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to let them go lah, because I want the same thing to happen to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? That is pace higher.
I think I don't know. From my personal experience, I'm always like trying to optimize my time. So I have to plan like, okay, so my office is on the 7th floor, but the water point is only like to get the empty water bottle to fill it up for the day is only on the 6th floor. So I'll take the lift to the 6th floor, pick up the water bottle, and then go back up with my things rather than putting my bag first and then going and take. Because then I'll need to take the extra steps. And then I'll order my coffee ahead of time. So all I need to do, take my food ready, then go up to 8th floor and then take my coffee. And then I barely need to wait.
And then if there's something that cop block you for a while, then you'll be like, "Ee!" Right?
My
Confirm.
perfect plan
Yeah.
in ruins.
I just about to say, patience is not really Singaporeans thing.
You're not a strong suit.
No.
Oh, I know another one. I think maybe we are impatient also because we are too used to Singaporean efficiency. At the airport, for example. Right.
Right.
We're like very used to like like that.
Oh my god.
And then we go to somewhere like, like Batam or even like Japan, right? You stand like waiting for half an hour.
Yeah.
Then you're like,
we are
what
spoiled,
is
man.
this?
Singapore airports efficiency is not normal.
Yeah.
It's really not normal. We have to learn the hard way. You go to some country, it's just like, oh lord, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think because we're too used to how efficient things are, then we feel inconvenienced by having to wait just the slightest bit.
Yeah.
Like public transport, for example.
But I think also the idea of like careers lah. Like I think like for example in New Zealand you have a career like where you just have a farm, a cafe out of nowhere, Airbnb, and the pace of life is like you're not being. I think like for those countries you can determine your pace of life, but in Singapore you feel like you're being dragged along with the pace of life.
Oh.
Like
But
you
does
are
that
adapting.
also-
You're adapting to how fast things are moving.
But are those countries also depend on whether you're in the city or outside of the city?
I
would
think
imagine
probably
yes,
both
yeah.
also. Because for example, some countries, 5 o'clock is pangkang one. You cannot contact. You're not supposed to.
New
walk
Zealand,
past.
no?
Yeah, lor, New Zealand. I think Australia also somewhat like that. I mean, depends on
Yeah.
definitely depends on the industry.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're quite clear cut. Like after this timing, like no contact, work is over. Yeah. But in Singapore, I feel like Singapore we are not like as bad as like working culture in like Japan and China. I feel, that's my what do you call it? my impression lah, that China's work culture and in Japan work culture can be quite jialat.
But one day also survey saying that Singapore working hours are very long. Like one of the longest in the world.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic that we work so long, so many hours of the day, but we're also efficient? So it's like, if you're so efficient, why are you working such long hours?
Oh.
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Because we don't know how to say no.
That's probably also
I feel
true.
like
And also,
as the Asian culture, we also don't really know how to say no.
Or we don't know how to like say yes. There's a way that saying no that the Japanese do sometimes. For us, it's like, if we say yes, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Any other interesting examples that people give?
So this person was in Australia for uni, and then I felt like everything I could take my time for. I really felt I could take my time for anything. The only thing I had to be wary of was closing time, since shops closed at sundown. Everything felt more leisurely there in Australia. In that same period, when I came back for holidays, there was this instant irritability. People walking slow on the pavement, annoyed. Days seem to pass faster here as well. It feels like you have no time for anything. You wake up, suddenly it's lunch. Like there's no time to stop and smell the roses. Overall, I think it's a perception thing, and it's exacerbated by the populace. If all Singaporeans collectively decided, hey, I don't like this pace we're going at, let's slow down, things would definitely change. It's true lah. That's what you were saying, we are just getting dragged along.
Yeah.
Yeah. This person damn funny. I associate the higher degree of irritability to the heat and humidity here. I firmly believe that if Singapore wasn't so warm and sticky, we would be a more pleasant society.
I don't disagree with that.
Then this person say, yeah, that was a point I forgot to mention. The weather is oppressive and we don't really have anything to look forward to throughout the year. If we had a cold season, we would at least have things like winter sales and the ability to dress up differently at different points. Small things like that really break up the monotony. Actually, that's very true. If you only got one season, everything feels the same throughout the year. Conversely, having a hot season could also be beach season. I might catch flack for saying this, but I would endure a hotter summer period if it gave us 3 to 4 months of cold and dry weather each year.
Actually, that's a good point. I think our weather is also the reason why people want to walk fast. They just want to get from one aircon place to another aircon place.
Yeah. Then this comment is also quite funny. I'll illustrate this with an example. When I was in New Zealand, the highway was shut down due to artillery live fire by SAF. I was a tourist. Instead of whining, the Kiwis just stopped by the road and took out a BBQ pit and started a BBQ. Then 3 exclamation marks. And everyone in the roadblock joined in, and they just chilled there eating meat for 2 hours until the block was lifted. Meanwhile, all the Singaporeans were like, Kanina, why so slow?
I think part of this, I'm just thinking about it also, is this idea of that, like, we need to get things done. The concept of we need to get things done. I feel like in some of these countries, sometimes it's like, oh, we cannot do this. Oh, wells. Let's do it another time, or like we just do it another way, whatever. But I think in Singapore, sometimes we are quite caught up with trying to achieve and complete this mission or objective that we set out to do.
It's true.
And we are quite obsessed with it, and we are like if we cannot do it, then you'll be like frustrated, like I came to do this, and if I don't get it, I failed. But yeah, sometimes I guess also it's a good time to just like take 2 steps back. Like, it's okay lah, got do no do, the world will still spin.
Yeah, but it's like my own personal feelings of like not completing my task.
Yvette is a typical Singaporean.
I just need to finish that one last country, then I'm done for the day. Still not fucking done with that stupid tricks.
You say this like people understand what you're talking about.
I have to work on a Saturday. It's
you're
really
like,
sad.
I'm not done with this country. People are like, done. What are you doing to a country?
Gathering information.
What are you doing to a country?
Okay, but anyway, that was my story.
Okay. I think we can go with one more. Let's see now. Am I the asshole because I don't want to change my last name after marriage, but my husband does?
Wait, the husband want to change his name?
Last name. Surname law, basically. So I female in the 30s, am a scientist with multiple degrees and a growing reputation in my field. I have several publications under my last name, which is important to me both professionally and personally. I've also had this name my entire life, and it is my part of my identity. Yeah. My partner, male, also in 30s, believes that if I don't take his last name, it means I don't love him, and we won't be a real family without the same last name. We already have kids together and consider ourselves a family, so this perspective confuses me. I understand that names can hold significant meaning, but I don't want to sacrifice my professional identity or my sense of self. Am I the asshole for wanting to keep my last name?
Not the asshole.
I mean, it's quite clear cut you're not the asshole.
Yeah.
Like this person. Yeah. I mean, in our, I don't know about the Western world, but Asian culture, actually in Singapore, I would just assume that most people, when they marry someone, they change their last name, but then they won't change literally, right? They'll
legal
just
name.
be Mr. and Mrs. You'll just
Yeah.
be noted as Mr. something.
Yeah.
But your
But
name,
legally, you don't change it.
legally you don't change your name.
Yeah.
Right? But I've known people would add sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
a double barrel.
My bio teacher in secondary school was Eng Tan.
Yeah, I had a
Miss
Chan
Eng
Ho.
Tan. Ho is a very funny last name.
It's so childish. All I did was
Yes,
like,
Chan Ho.
yeah, Mrs. Chan Ho. But I think, yes, it's a very Western thing because, like, I have a friend who married, like, a British guy.
Yeah.
And then she was saying, like, how she don't want to change the name because then she'll be like she'll have, like, a white person's last name. And then, like,
she's
she turned
Asian
out,
looking.
but then she's Chinese, you
Yeah,
know. Then it's, like,
yeah.
very, like, egg eager, right? Then she
Yeah.
said she don't want. But then her husband was like, you have to, because I think in, like, their culture, you change your last name
Yeah.
when you get married.
So how is she managing it?
I don't know.
She will be changing.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like that big of an issue for him.
Yeah. Which
But then
is-
for this case,
it's weird.
it
Like, they're
affects your-
married already. Like, they have kids already. Like.
no, they have kids doesn't mean they're married.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what one thing
No,
that.
but he said husband. So they're
Oh.
married already.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a professional reason not to change. Like, yeah, lah. But I mean, culturally, I guess. For example, if it's like, I don't know, what is the equivalent in our culture? That if you don't do, then people will be like, huh, you mean you don't see me as your husband?
In Singapore,
Yeah.
I wanted to say live together, but that's not really unique to Singapore. I maybe naming your kids with the guy's surname, because that's what they would do. But actually now my question is also, I wonder what last name does the kids have?
Probably the fathers, right? Usually that's the case.
I would think so lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is a very Western thing. Do Western people definitely change their last name when they
I think
marry?
so most of the time. Why you look at me as if I'm an expert
don't know.
on Western culture?
Yeah, you're a Western. You consume so much Western media.
I do.
Yeah. Then now you turn
I
around
think
and
they
question me.
usually do.
So they legally go and change their last name.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
so
I was
much
just,
work,
actually, funnily enough, I was just like watching this TikTok video. I think she's like a famous newscaster or sports newscaster.
Yeah.
Then I think her name is Kate Abdo or something. And then she, the nightly news. Then they were like, "Good evening and welcome to whatever with Kate Up." And then she was like, because she just got married. So actually now her name is like Kate Scott or something like that.
Oh,
So I think most of them do, like, it's a cultural thing.
that's so strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So firstly, I do not want to be a Ng. Khan is a nice, unusual last name.
Yeah, sure, Yvette. I am totally on your side. Comment here, not the asshole. You have established yourself professionally. If having the same last name means so much to your fiance, he can change his last name.
Yeah, lor.
After all, if he thinks that it's so important you both have the same last name as proof of love, he should be willing to change his name.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I agree totally. Because one way to think whether your perspective is dumb is you reverse it yourself. It's like if you ask someone to do something, then you ask the reverse, will you be able to do the same thing for that person? If the answer is no, right, then what you're asking for that person is probably a bit, what do you call it? Unreasonable, I feel. Yeah, that's a good way to look at things sometimes. Yeah. What else? Let me see. Not the asshole. Guy here, ask him to change it. I think same question. That explain if he doesn't love you and you're not real family. Show him how ridiculous he's being. Yeah, agree. Not the asshole, blah blah blah. Also ask me and millions of other divorced women how much changing our last name to match our husband's name made a difference in creating and keeping a family together. It's not the name that makes the family work. That's also true. So I mean it's quite a straightforward thing. But at the same time, I mean culturally I can understand why some people might be a bit caught up with this whole thing lah. But I also hope that like people eventually also realize that a lot of these kind of things are not that crucial or that important as they think it may be. Yeah. Like for a proper working relationship or like a proper healthy family, there are a lot of things that you can do better than certain things that are very like show and tell kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, yes, lah, show and telling someone that you love and care about them is important, but I think there are also we should take some time to also like look at why we are doing certain things and whether is it just tradition, but then you look at it like maybe traditionally that makes some sense why people do it in the first place, but in the modern world today, does those reasons still persist or not? Yeah.
Like how I proposed to you.
Yep.
Is that our tradition?
That is damn traditional. I'm gonna be a traditional stay-home wife. Okay lah, I think that's about it. I also want to go and pee, and it's late. Any last comments?
About what?
I don't know.
Oh.
Why you look so stunned? About what?
No, I just remember I need to go and transfer money to myself. From our joint account.
Why?
From my Grab rights.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's info that you guys definitely need to know. Need to know. Need to
And
know.
then today cannot speak, but he decided to do a podcast.
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm sorry if my whatever I'm saying is like.
And you read the longest story ever.
Yeah, you know when I read it, you know we read it, you don't really read it, so you
Yeah.
can go through it like quite fast. Like,
But when you
this
say
is
it
damn
out loud,
interesting. Then when I start reading it, I'm just maybe next time I'll choose like a shorter story to go about.
because now you know.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this episode of podcast. Yeah, stay tuned to the next one next month. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.